Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
My genes are blue. My genes are blue.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body? Well, you can't have it.
She's a hot, beautiful, biological woman, and everybody loves it.
Yeah, I bought that bath water. What about it? I put a hole in the middle and you know what I did next.
You're only mad at Sydney Sweeney because she's a hot white girl. She's a hot white straight girl saying that she's got good genes.
People just hate Sydney Sweeney because she's white and hot and blonde, and speaking from someone who fits the same description, don't hate us because you ain't us. You know, you're just mad because we're hot, right, girls? Oh!
It was a gene ad. It was fun. It was funny. A joke, if you will.
Ain't that right, American Eagle? Yay, yay!
The liberals saw a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes and thought she was ushering in the Fourth Reich.
They're now waging a war on hot chicks.
Sydney Sweeney's just hot, that's all it is.
These advertisements, I don't think people wanted to buy those jeans.
We don't like hot chicks with big boobs. She's so hot.
They're making it a big deal, y'all. The woke brigade, they're at it again. They're hating for our girl Sydney Sweeney. Ooh, don't look down there, my eyes up here.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Hey, what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary, critique, and reaction videos on movies, TV shows, and reality TV with a bit of pop culture sprinkled in between. So if any of that seems interesting to you and you end up enjoying this video, please subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell and give the video a thumbs up. Alrighty guys, in today's video, I wanted to have a bit of a pop culture discussion about Sydney Sweeney and all of the weird choices she's been making that are impacting her career. This is sparked by a recent controversy that she had with the American Eagle jeans ad that she did, as well as one a couple of months ago with the Dr. Squatch bathwater soap ad. So we're gonna get into that and discuss all of the undertones and things going on behind that, but also Sydney Sweeney as a whole being a very contradicting person. She says that she doesn't want to be sexualized and she wants to get out of that trap, and she's been treated that way her whole life, but then she keeps putting herself in situations where she is being sexualized and performing for the male gaze, and she's doing a lot of things that are indicating that she is conservative, MAGA, on the right, whatever you want to say, and that's not exactly something that most people want to support. I would honestly prefer if Sydney just like came out and just said, yeah, I'm MAGA, yeah, I'm on the right, yeah, I support Trump, yeah, I'm conservative, and say who she is, who she supports, what she believes in, all that kind of stuff, so that everybody can just be like, okay, that's who you are, now I know, I don't have to support you. And a lot of people on the far right have a lot to say about what's going on with this jeans ad, like, oh, this is a prime example of like leftists and extreme feminists and the woke brigade and how they just get upset about everything, like it's not that big of a deal, it's not that deep. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe it doesn't seem that way to you because it's perpetuating what you already believe in, you know? And also a lot of people are saying not everything's political. Well, unfortunately, existing in today's day and age, or just existing in general in society, is political when there are people and politicians constantly trying to strip people of their rights to safety and human decency and equality. So yeah, this damn right is political. So we're gonna get into the American Eagle ad and the Dr. Squash soap and just other stuff that Sydney Sweeney's been doing recently that just contradicts what she says she wants out of her career and could be potentially harming her career, because girly, it's not looking good. So without further ado, let's get into it because I'm about to dive in to the Sydney Sweeney mess. Yeah, offspring. So first, let's talk about the reason I'm making this video, the controversy that it sparked this bigger discussion about Sydney Sweeney, the American Eagle ad. Obviously, I paid homage to that with my double denim getup. Disclaimer though, my denim is not from American Eagle, it's from Levi Jeans. If you want to see how to do a denim ad right, check out the Beyonce Levi Jeans ad. And also, I just have to say it because I know there's a lot of brain dead people out there. At the beginning of this video with my little skit doing my Sydney Sweeney impression with a bit of a Doja Cat inflection and all that kind of stuff was a parody.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring. Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
I obviously do not agree with what was said in that ad. I do not agree with the undertones of it. Yes, I am white and have blonde hair. I mean, this is highlighted, but I'm like one of those people that's like, I was born blonde. Like, I'm gonna stay blonde, you know, that bullshit. I got blue eyes, all that kind of crap. Like, when I watched that ad, it was like in a stitch before I saw someone like give their commentary on it the first time I watched it. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, like, that's not like, no, like in the sense that? No.
Then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like,
you know, if that was an ad campaign with a couple of different models of varying appearances and races and backgrounds and all this kind of stuff, it'd be a totally different story, because it's like, we all have beautiful genes, we all wear good genes. You know, it'd be like a play on the words in a way that isn't weird. But when you're doing this like archetype of what, you know, the male gaze and the incels want women to look like, and what the far right want women to look like, and like Aryan races and NAZIs want people to look like, you know, that guy with the stash who like was trying to make people look like that, you know, all that. Yeah, when you do that with the whole good genes, it's a weird look, okay? And let's not pretend that it's not.
A company that sells jeans playing on genetic genes versus denim jeans is not weird. A company using a conventionally attractive woman with blonde hair and blue eyes in their marketing is not weird. Versions of that have been done before and will be done again. But a company whose name is American Eagle and is owned by a Trump supporter creating a marketing campaign centered around genetics using a blonde hair, blue-eyed white woman with her own Trump supporting allegations, whose attractiveness the alt-right had already latched onto well before this, to the extent that they are saying the quiet parts out loud. We are so back, white women are so back. And then to run these ads where the tagline is
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
At the same time that eugenics, fascism, pronatalism, make America hot again, and neo-Nazism are on the rise. All of those things happening at the same time. That's what makes this marketing campaign weird.
Even if the marketing people in American Eagle are so dumb and thick in the head that they couldn't even get that through, even though for an ad campaign to go through, it has to go through so many different channels and meetings, I find it hard to believe that they didn't realize what kind of message they were sending. You know, I know there is the idea of groupthink, as in it's probably just filled with a bunch of conservative white people who don't actually have any perception of diverse experiences, and they don't have anyone else working in those marketing teams that could maybe flag that and be like, guys, like, you don't see how that sounds.
I am available for the American Eagle jeans campaign shoot.
My body's composition is determined by my genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color and eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
Or maybe they don't actually care and they are trying to send a dog whistle through their secret messaging through these disgusting ads. Either way, there's so much to unpack about this ad. Number one, this ad was supposed to be for women's jeans, right? This ad is supposed to advertise to women. It's a back to school campaign for high school and college age girls who are supposed to be looking at that and being like, oh yeah, I want to buy those jeans. I want to look like Sydney Sweeney. Is this giving marketing to women when you have Sydney so extremely sexualized, like, don't look down there, look up here, and like revving the car and like all the clothes being kind of in various disarrays of undress? That seems like you're signaling to the male gaze, even though you're trying to sell the jeans to women.
They are not trying to sell jeans to women. They are trying to sell stock to men. And it's working. This is not how you sell jeans to women. And then my boyfriend, who is into stocks, was like, they want to drive up the American Eagle stock. And who buys stock? Predominantly men. This right here is a screenshot where you can clearly see that that is exactly what's happening. Plus 18.93% companies that are supposed to be attracting women care more about attracting men so that they do better on the stock market. So next time you see a super seductive sexualized ad of Sydney Sweeney, which I'm sure it's gonna happen again, look at what the company's stock is looking like.
Also, lest we forget, I don't think a lot of people know this, part of the money for this campaign is supposed to go to raising awareness and funds for a domestic violence charity. And you have Sydney in this getup.
A lack of regard for objectification and this hypersexualization of Sydney Sweeney should not be used to perpetuate a domestic violence campaign message.
Like, the math isn't mathing, the connection isn't there. I just refuse to believe that through all the channels this ad went through, that nobody was aware of what they were doing. And even if there were people who were, like, let's say Sydney didn't realize she was playing into some sort of like eugenics, Aryan race type of thing. What about the higher ups?
I've worked in marketing for 15 years. This went through so many people. This had so many meetings. Not one person was like, that might be weird.
Oh wait, lest we forget, the CEO of American Eagle himself is shady and has done shady stuff that leans into eugenics.
One thing that we shouldn't do as adults with fully functional brains is pretend that context does not exist. The president campaigning, for example, and going into a rant about immigration, then talking about how there are a lot of bad genes in our country. I think a lot of people have been comfortable just gaslighting everyone, saying there's no problem here, and not understanding any historical context around a blonde-haired, blue-eyed actor being a part of this particular campaign in this moment. Again, the question is raised, what are the bad genes? It gets even weirder when you realize the CEO of American Eagle is Jay Schottenstein, who has been involved with helping to fund ethnic cleansing for years.
There's just so many disgusting layers within this ad. You have the sexualization of women pandering to the male gaze, doing all of that when this is supposed to be a charity for domestic violence. And then you have the weird eugenics and dog whistling of good genes and what like good genes are. Blonde, white, thin, blue eyes, all that kind of crap. And like I said, on every level with Sydney and her team and the American Eagle team, I truly do not believe that across all these people, no one knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing, and those who didn't were too stupid and ignorant to realize it. This is also just not even an original ad. It's like basically a direct copy of Brooke Shields' Calvin Klein ad back in the 80s when she was like 15 years old.
They have said, we're gonna do a series of cinematic commercials. It's gonna be a play on what a gene is.
The secret of life lies hidden in the genetic code, and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations by selective mating. Genes better equipped than others.
Now I've put away childish things, and I'm ready for Calvin's.
Calvin Klein genes.
Lest we forget that, why do I keep saying lest we forget? But lest we forget that Brooke Shields was so overly sexualized as a minor. She was in that weird, creepy Blue Lagoon movie. She played like a prostitute when she was like underage. She had all these horrible things done to her when she was underage, and then you want to like do an homage, if not a direct copy of this ad. Like, this just so disgusting on so many levels. Like, I just cannot even comprehend why Sydney would do this. But at the same time, when you factor in everything that Sydney's done in the past, can we even be surprised? Before we get into the Dr. Squatch ad, I want to get into Sydney Sweeney's political leaning. She has not explicitly stated where she leans in what direction. I think people should, especially if you're a public figure. I just think you should use your platform for good. But either way, Sydney Sweeney, like last year or the year before, was pictured at her mother's 60th birthday, which was like some hoedown throwdown because I think she's from the Midwest or the South, which is fine. Obviously, that doesn't indicate who you are. And side note, disclaimer, no tea, no shade to people in the South who aren't like these people, because, you know, I was mimicking your accent in the beginning. So she was at this party and a bunch of photos leaked online where a bunch of her family members and family friends had MAGA hats and had a Blue Lives Matter shirt, the classic imagery of the far-right propaganda. And when people online were calling Sydney Sweeney out and accusing her of being a Trumpy, she just responded like, you guys are crazy. Like, this is just my mom's birthday. Like, why are you acting like this? Leave me alone. And that's not exactly a denial. Now, I know that we don't get to choose our family, and we sometimes have to be in certain social situations with people where we don't exactly align with them. I mean, I myself have literally cut family members off because I do not agree with their political beliefs and their conservatism and the way that we just completely have a difference of opinion when it comes to human rights. I know not everyone can do that. I know it's your parents. I get it. You could at least come out and say, like, guys, this was a family event. I don't agree with the political beliefs of those people. This is where I am. But like the murky, vague waters of the way that you're responding to it just indicates like you agree with it and you just don't want to cop the backlash. So off the bat, there's already these questions about Sydney Sweeney's political leanings. So that, you know, lends itself to like the eugenics aspect of the American Eagle ad. The other thing I want to discuss is the sexualization of Sydney Sweeney. She's come out and discussed how growing up, she developed a lot quicker. She's got bigger breasts and she was sexualized from a young age and she really didn't like that. And she played a character in Euphoria that she says she connects to a lot. It was her breakout role of Cassie. And Cassie in Euphoria, like, a big part of her character is how sexualized she is, and she has, you know, nude photos and stuff of her leaked and all this kind of stuff. And she said in interviews, like, I played that role, you know, to connect with Cassie and show like that this is wrong. Women should not be sexualized like this. And then people just do it to me.
There was a storyline of what is happening in Cassie and the sexualization that's happening in Cassie because of her nude photos that got leaked and just the perception of others on her because she has boobs. And then I see that happening to me in real life, even though everyone watched Euphoria. I go, did you not
Did
learn?
you miss the point?
Did you miss the, exactly.
Yeah, that must be really frustrating.
Exactly.
And I do agree with that. I do agree that people overly sexualize her. And I'm not a woman, so I don't know what that feels like. But I do have women in my life who like literally cannot stand Sydney Sweeney and don't want to watch anything she's in because of the way that she panders to the male gaze.
Let's face it, guys only want one thing. At the end of the day, they just want to crack open a natural one with the boys.
Sydney Sweeney!
Hi, boys! Oh my gosh, I am such a klutz. I am so sorry.
It's okay. Anything you do is okay.
There's this whole discussion of whether you're actually like empowering yourself by like sticking it to the patriarchy and making money off of these like pathetic men and incels. And I understand that to a certain extent, but I also think at the same time, you can't say, oh, why am I being sexualized and all this kind of stuff when you're constantly, you know, being in these ad campaigns and these photo shoots where you're being heavily sexualized and selling these products to men when you're being heavily sexualized. Even in a jeans ad for women, you're being sexualized. And I do believe that there are lots of other people involved with this, like her management team and the photographers and this. Like, it's a much bigger issue than just Sydney herself. But like, you cannot tell me that Sydney does not have any agency or sway over the brand deals she chooses to take and the ad campaign she chooses to be in and the photographs she chooses to be taken of her and the magazine cover she chooses to. Like, she has such an amazing acting career. She's an amazing actress. I really love a lot of her roles. I don't think she's that good at like comedy and rom-coms. Anyone But You, that was not the shit. But like, immaculate, amazing horror actress. And I even remember watching that film with my friend and being like, wow, like this might be the first thing we've watched with Sydney where she's not topless. And then she goes topless in the movie. It's like they put it in her contract, even when it's not necessary, doesn't benefit the film or the scene. She was playing a nun who got pregnant with Jesus and then she went topless. That movie was crazy, by the way. But yeah, I just don't understand this whole like Sydney not wanting to be sexualized, but then being sexualized in everything she does. It's just so unnecessary because she has such an amazing career. Right now, she's training and getting buff and all this kind of stuff to film a movie about a lesbian boxer. Like, you clearly don't care about your roles always feeding into the male gaze, but why do you do that with everything else? And there's a lot of people out there like, let her catch her bag, let her catch her bag this. But at what point do we draw the line? The girl is money hungry. The girl loves a cash grab. The girl will catch her bag any which way that she can. And you know that I'm against that if you watch my Kardashian series and all of their flat tummy tea and fake Louis Vuitton giveaway ads. Like, I am so over this narrative of rich celebrities needing to catch their bag. You don't need as much money as you think you do, and that does not excuse you taking these horrible ad campaigns just because you got bills to pay and Hollywood's expensive. You can't honestly tell me that this far into her career, she still needs to take all of these ad campaigns that she does. There was this article that came out a couple of years ago about how Sydney needs to take these deals because she doesn't make enough money from her acting. And at the time I was like, yeah, you know, she's only a couple years into her career. There's a lot of fees when it comes to being an actor. You know, you have your agent fees, you have your management fee, you have your lawyer fee, like your living costs. I get it. It's an expensive lifestyle, but she produced her own film. She has her own production company. She's back-to-back projects. You can't, like, we don't see Zendaya or Alexa Demi or like other co-stars that she's worked along, Glenn Powell. We don't see them doing incessant ad campaigns after ad campaign after ad campaign.
Guys, no hate to Sydney Sweeney, but why is she the face of everything? Every ad I see is Sydney Sweeney. And now look at this drink. There she is. Like, girl, she's everywhere.
Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Sydney Sweeney is money hungry. The girl does not care what she attaches her name to. Or maybe she does. Maybe she does agree with the eugenics side of what's being portrayed to us in the American Eagle ad. Who knows? And maybe she doesn't actually care about sexualizing herself if it means she can catch her quick bag. Now let's talk about the Dr. Squatch ad. She's complaining about being sexualized, and then she is doing a brand deal and a collaboration with this like men's hygiene ad, which the advertising for is so disgusting and performing to the male gaze.
Sydney Sweeney body wash genie?
What's your wish? It could be anything.
Coconuts.
You're cheating on me with Sydney Sweeney.
No, babe, she's a body wash genie.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body wash? Well, you can't have it. Because this isn't for boys, it's for men.
And then she's making a soap with them, a limited edition soap, only 5,000, because she took a bath and they took her bath water and put it into all the different soap so that men can buy it. These incel men who wonder why women don't like them, they're gonna buy that soap, cut a hole in the middle and do what they do, or they're just never gonna touch it, they're gonna lick it, they're gonna ingest it, who knows what they're gonna do.
In terms of the public's reaction, there's about two camps right now. One side are just totally grossed out by the whole thing and are surprised that Sydney would even want there to be a target audience for this kind of product. The other, made up predominantly of women, have accused the actor of setting feminism back a whole ton. Their argument seems to suggest that while Sydney previously complained so much about the public objectifying her, she's now willing to participate in the objectification herself. Plus, the girlies hating on this collab have pointed out that Dr. Squatch is a male-founded and male-centric brand.
But like, it's just so disgusting. And it gets to the point where like it all gets so murky. It's like when you love an artist, but they start doing horrible shit and you just can't listen to their music anymore because you can't detach them from their music. She's not doing that exact same thing with her acting career. I used to really enjoy her acting. I cannot stand to listen to her anymore. One thing I don't like is I don't like people who contradict themselves and people who like squander their opportunities. And I just feel like that's what Sydney's doing. And it's sad because a couple years ago, I was watching everything she was in. Not because she was performing to the male gaze and she's a beautiful woman, but I'm not exactly, you know, I was just watching her because I thought she was a great actress, and now she's just, you know, flushing her career down the toilet. But, you know, she'll have the far-right people watching her, so enjoy that at least. With all of the ad campaigns and the cash grabs, I just don't think it's necessary. Like, she's in enough projects. I really don't think she needs the money as bad as she thinks she does. All I can say is, Sydney Sweeney, girl, you're on track to ruin your career.
The biggest misconception about me is that I am a dumb blonde with big tits. I'm naturally brunette.
This video ended up being such a massive rant. I did not expect to get this heated and this upset about this, but like, I don't know, I feel like it's been building and bubbling with Sydney. There's just like always something. And I really hesitated to talk about it because, you know, I'm not a woman, so I don't get that aspect of it. I don't live in America, so I'm not like 100% having my finger on the pulse when it comes to the politics there. Even though, you know, I do keep up and I do know a decent amount, but I just really wanted to discuss this and shine a light to it in a way that maybe other people hadn't, maybe add something new to the conversation, maybe bring this to light for you guys, maybe have like a place where you can like, you know, comment down below your opinion. We can start a discussion down below. But anyway, guys, that's it for me in this video. Thank you for watching. I don't even know if this video is good, if it'll see the light of day, if you guys will like it. But if you do, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below your thoughts so we can start a discussion. Subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already, and let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. I'm getting back into my pop culture bag and gag. There was a little bit of time there where I kind of was staying out of the drama, and now I'm back in it. So expect more videos like this from me. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. And as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye!